In ancient days, there lived an old couple with their only child, a girl of remarkable charm and beauty. When the old man fell sick and died, his widow became more and more concerned for his daughter's future welfare.
Please, Han, you'll be okay.
Han, please,
No, don't talk, don't say anything.
take me, Dota.
No, you will be fine. We will be together. We have a lot to plan for our family. I know you don't leave me, Han. Don't leave me.
One day, she sat behind her child and said,
Little one, your father lies in yonder cemetery, and I, being old and feeble, need to follow him soon. And the thought of leaving you alone here is trouble me much. You are beautiful, and beauty can smear to men. Not all the purity of white flower can prevent it from being flapped and dragged down into the mire. My child, your face is all too fair. You must be hidden from the eagerness of man.
Having said these words, she placed a lacquer bowl upon the maiden's head so that it veiled her attractions.
Little one, always wear this one. It will protect you when I'm gone.
Shortly after this loving deed had performed, the old woman died.
Mom!
Maiden was forced to earn her living by working in the rice field. It was hard, wearisome work, but the girl kept a brave heart and toiled from dawn to sunset without a murmur. Wiping her perception has created considerable comments, and she was known throughout the land as the maiden with a bowl on her head. Men laughed at her and tried to peek under the vessel.
What an ugly bowl!
And not a few endeavored to pull off the wooden covering, but it could not be removed. Guests would try to remove the wooden bowl as they went around and laughed at the maiden. The poor girl bore this rude treatment with a patient but heavy heart. One day, the owner watched the maiden working in his rice field. He was struck by her diligence and her quick and excellent way of performing her task. He was pleased with that bent and busy little figure and did not laugh at the wooden bowl on her head. After observing her for some time, he came to the maiden and said,
Maiden, you have worked well. Unlike the others, you focus on your task. I want you to work in my rice field until the harvest is over.
When winter came, the wealthy farmer became more favorably impressed with the maiden and anxious to help her, asked her to become a maid of his wife.
Maiden, I have seen you a lot of times already. And if you don't mind, I want you to take care of my ill wife. My son is away and I have no other children to take care of my wife. Are you willing?
Yes, sir, I will.
The maiden gratefully accepted this welcome offer. She attended to the sick woman with great care.
Good afternoon, ma'am and sir.
Please come in.
There's the food.
My wife is sick. Please take care of her.
Yes, sir, I will. Ma'am, first, you have to take your meal.
As the farmer and his wife had no daughter, they talked very kindly to this orphan and regarded her as a child of their own. At length, the farmer's elder son returned to his home. He was a young man who had studied in gay Kyoto and was weary of a merry life of feasting and pleasure. One day, the young man came to his father and said,
It's nice to be back. Home sweet home.
Welcome back, my son.
Hello, Dad.
Come inside.
How are you, Mother? I just go to Dad and just talk to him. Who is the maiden in our house? And why does she wear an ugly bolt on her head?
Come, my son.
the farmer told the sad story of the maiden.
Come, my son. Let me tell you something. That woman there in the room, she's an orphan. I took notice of her potential to take care of your mother. You know, your mother is very ill. And we need someone to take very good care of her, to feed her, to change her clothes. So, that's why I asked for her help. But in return, we will also take care of her. So I hope that you understand my actions.
As days went by, the son grew more interested in her and resolved he would marry the maiden with a bowl in her head.
Ma'am, if you need anything, just call me. I'll just continue.
As days went by, the son grew more interested in her and resolved he would marry the maiden with a bowl in her head. His friends and relations told him to beware she would turn out to be ugly and not beautiful.
What's wrong with you?
Many spiteful things were said to be here, but the young man loved her the more. At length, he asked her to marry him.
I've heard a lot of bad words about you, but for me, you are the best woman to spend the rest of my life. Will you marry me?
No, I'm sorry. I cannot marry you. I am but a servant of your father's house.
Why?
I'm sorry.
And in spite of all this pleading, he would not change her mind.
That night, the poor girl cried herself to sleep, and in a dream, her mother came to her and said,
My dear child, let your good heart be troubled no more. Marry the farmer's son, and you will be well again.
The maiden woke up next morning full of joy when her lover came to her.
A wonderful morning.
My woman, will you marry me?
Yes.
Yes! She said yes! Thank you.
When all plans had been made for the wedding, it was thought high time to remove the maiden's bowl. She herself tried to take it off.
I cannot remove it.
Don't trouble about it. You are just dear to me, with or without the bowl.
Then the wine cups were brought into the crowded hall, and the bride and bridegroom were expected to drink together the 3 times 3 in token of their marriage. Just as the maiden put the wine cup to her lips, the bowl on her head filled with a great noise. From it
Whoa!
fell gold and silver and all kinds of precious stones. The maiden who had once been a beggar was now rich. The guests were amazed, especially the parents, as they looked upon the heap of shining jewels and gold. But they were still more surprised when they looked up and saw that the bride was the most beautiful woman in all Japan.
In ancient days, there lived an old couple with a... Isa po.
Mary the farmer's